Hi, my name is Brent Satoris. I'm here with Search Engine Journal. I'm joined today by Katy Katz from Interact. And you have been talking a lot lately about storytelling, which I find extremely interesting, especially in content marketing and things like that. But what exactly, for people who might be listening, what exactly would you say storytelling and content really is?
Sure. So I think a common misconception when you hear storytelling, you kind of think of like when you were a little kid and your parents would read you books and fairy tales and princesses, and even sometimes when that translates to business, people think of making up stories, making up examples of things that they think would happen to their customers. But it's really actually more about telling authentic stories about your brand, maybe things that are going on inside your brand, and also things that are going on with your real customers, and that's how they can be really effective.
So what about companies that really want to participate in this? Because obviously storytelling has, it has the emotional connection, it has the value. What do you do in that situation where you may not have a lot of really good stories to tell?
Yeah, storytelling it's like any muscle that you need to exercise it and flex it. So what you'll find is just by reading more, honestly, like reading is one of the best things you can do, and also practicing writing and doing different types of writing exercises. I think a lot of marketers are very analytical and very factual, especially if you come from an SEO background or something really very technical. You kind of have this set, established way that you write things, whether it's a 5 ways to do this, or those listicles and all of those really exciting posts.
That's where I started, by the way. So.
Yes, I know. I still write them because they work. I know. But there's ways you can storytelling really spices it up, even if it's just little bits interlaced in between. If you're using an analogy or something along that line, it can really help, like you said, drive that emotional connection.
Well, and you've seen it so much in media over the last couple of years. I mean, a lot of the brands have really gotten into like personalizing the experiences, talking about the stories. When you do it in content, I mean, are you going through like a certain process in order to make sure that the story, storytelling, as you've explained, is kind of like, telling true stories, but is there a sense of a formula that like makes the story itself work and perform best?
Absolutely. So in some of the past talks I've done, I've said there's 6 steps or 7 steps, and this time around I'm only speaking for 15 minutes. So I try to really distill it down, that if people want to get better at it quickly, it's really just 3 steps to telling good stories, and that's remembering to speak to a real persona, target audience that you've defined, and then having a beginning, middle, of end, a plot line like you would think of for any story that really has a big impact, and then driving it to your point, making sure that the end of your story drives to your point and your call to action, and so that you're getting your biggest bang for your buck.
And would you draft it out? Would you outline it? Would you storybook it? I mean, do you take it on like a full production like that and really make sure it has all the stuff? Or?
I wish I could storybook. I am a terrible graphic everything, so my slides will not be very pretty this year. But there's lots of ways you can get around that if you're like me and you're not very graphically inclined, with outlines and different things like that, so that you can kind of see that flow and making sure that you're having something that's going to hook people in and get interested in what you're saying.
Well, this is a really great topic, and it's something I think a lot of people need to start paying more attention to. I mean, just in content creation in general, the quality needs to be higher. People need to think more about what they're doing. When people are looking to learn more about this, take this a little more seriously, how can they find you? How can they learn more from you? Where are you online?
Yeah, so I write for Search Engine Journal sometimes, so you can find me on there, I think, and also Twitter. I'm very big on Twitter, Katy Katz TX. So I love to connect and make new friends.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show with us today and joining me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Brent Satoris. I'm here with Search Engine Journal. I'm joined today by Gary Yesh, Chief of Sunshine and Happiness at Google.
That's correct.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
There's been a lot of discussion, I don't know, a lot of discussion, but there's been some decent discussion recent about Penguin. It's,
I never heard about penguins.
No. They've been running around here chasing you, so. Becoming more of a part of the everyday algorithm, the live algorithm.
Yeah.
And
Today's summit is the 3 takeaways.
Yes.
Structure.
Yes.
I'm leaving with way more.
I also like the single session format for conferences.
I agreed to be a speaker here because I think above all else the quality of people who attend the meeting. There's something to be said about the fact that you can't just, hey, come. It's by invitation only.
What I really liked about the speakers is that it's been very well-rounded.